Hey, I just want to come to you and talk about how to both grow your accounting firm and your bookkeeping practice. Now, for me, I got started about 7 years ago, and someone asked me the other day, they were like, why are you doing this mentorship program? Right? They're like, there was a gentleman, and he asked this question because he was like, he was trying to grow his business, and money is a little bit tight for him, right? And it's not that it's super tight, it's just that it's tighter than what he would like to be. And he asked me that question. And the reason why is because it's funny. I come from a long line of like accounting professionals. So I have like four uncles that are CPAs. Granddad was a CPA. Just all these people in my family. And for most of us in the profession, like in the industry, whether you're a bookkeeper, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a CFO, most of us are really underappreciated and really undervalued, right? And on top of that, we're generally the ones that work the most hours in the organization, outside of a couple different positions, but for the most part, right? The most overworked, the most undervalued. And what that ends up happening is not only are you kind of burning out really, really quickly, but you don't really have the time to kind of be with your family the same way. So, so for me, for example, whenever I look at like some of my cousins and when they were growing up, it was like they never really got to see their parents and they were always working. They were trying to grow, they were trying to make money, they were trying to put food on the table, and they were doing a really great job at it. But whenever they would try and start a business, oftentimes like the skill sets that they would have were not the skill sets you needed to start a business. Right. For example, my Uncle C, brilliant at tax strategies. He can save you so much money on taxes, right? But he when he was younger and he was trying to start his business and he was doing like taxes and tax returns, he would always get people who would come to him and be like, hey, can I just do this? Can you, I don't have any money to pay you. Can you help me out? Right? He would save them like $100,000, and then they'd still be like, "Oh, I don't have any money to kind of save or to kind of give to you." And it would always be attracting people like that. And since he didn't really have one, the confidence, two, the skill set of sales, and then three, the ability to kind of market, it would always be like his business would kind of get up and then it would just drop. And then you have to go back into corporate America and just like work, right? And his children never really got that much time to see him, and that led to especially one of my cousins really needed his dad there, but since things were so hectic at work, he never really got the attention that he really needed in order to kind of flourish and thrive, and he ended up just really kind of stalling out in life, and it took him a lot longer to move to where he needed to be because there was a lot of challenges going on when he was in high school, probably towards the end of middle school, beginning of high school. And it really, really was hard. Actually, he actually ended up having to get his GED because just got in with the wrong crowd. Didn't really have any proper guidance, and his confidence was kind of low. And going back to my original thing, like, why do I do this, right? There's so many people inside of our industry where they don't have the same skill set I do. Like my skill set, my strong suit, it's not that I was born with this. It's just I know how to do marketing. I know how to do sales. And again, I wasn't born with this stuff. I just paid $35,000 my first year of learning this stuff because I had went 0 for 36. Actually, no, I went 1 for 36 in my first 36 consultation calls. It was always like people would be like, well, you just got started. I don't know if I really want to be your first client. Or, it's like, why would I go with you when I can just go to this person up the street who has 50 years experience? Or it'll be like, well, this person's cheaper. And the only reason I was able to like overcome that was because like I ended up going back into corporate America for about 8 months. And when I was in corporate America, every single spare dollar that did not go towards bills went towards courses, seminars, sales tapes, audiobooks. I did so many courses. I did a course for like 3,500, a course for 1,500, a course for 2,000, a course for $700, $800, a course for 7 grand, another course for 3,500, then like an $18,000 mastermind, right? And some people like if you're watching this, you think that's a lot of money. It was a lot of money. Like looking back, I probably would not have spent 35,000. it was a little bit too new into the business to really make sense of the $18,000 program. Not to say that I didn't get any value out of it. I got a huge amount of value out of it, but like that would have, rather than spending 35, I could have spent 35 minus 18 and still been really good. But all that to say, having the ability to be able to get skill sets that you don't have, and then being able to kind of give back to other people. And I'm not being like giving back to be like altruistic and like, I care only about like, like charity and stuff. I'm not saying that. But at the same time, it's like, imagine if you watching this, you didn't have to work in your job. You could be able to be with your children in the ages that they need them, right? A lot of people think that the age that your children need them are like when they're like 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years, 4 year old, right? Which in a lot of cases they do need you, but for more of like protection, more of like growth, more of being able to survive. But when they're more like in middle school, late middle school, entering high school, that's the time, even in college for some students, for some people, depending on like their mental age, that's the time when they need you the most. And if you don't put in the work when you're younger, before they actually need you, that's when things are a lot harder, right? Because it always gets really hard to start your business the longer you wait. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying like when you're 50 years old, when you're 45, when you're 55 years old, it's easier for you to get bigger clients, but it does take a lot more of your energy and a lot more organization. So you have to try and get there before you think you need it, right? And a lot of people that join my program, they're either like on the younger end or they're like in their early 30s, and then they're like about 49-ish to about 65. My oldest client is about 67 years old right now. But it's kind of a shame because a lot of people that are in more of that 37 to about 42-ish, when they're having the new family, they're not the ones that generally invest in the program in the past. It is becoming more of a trend as I get more of them in the audience. But those I generally believe are the people that need the most, right? Because they have like this ability to be able to kind of grow. They have a young family, so the time is a little bit different. But those are the ones that are really going to be like benefited from this as far as timing, because then when they hit the age of like 50, they're no longer having to work in that job they don't like. They can kind of smoothly coast. And since their bills are not as high as when they're a little bit older, it's a lot easier for them to start the business. Now, that's why I'm always like, if you could start this as soon as possible, that's the best time. Like today is the best time. The first best time was actually 20 years ago. The next best time is today. And it's like that every single day. And just kind of going back to like, why am I actually doing this, right? It's because one, I like the money. Two, it is harder to grow like a coaching business than it is to grow an accounting or bookkeeping firm. So don't get that twisted. Like a lot of people are like, like it's so much easier for you to sell coaching than like bookkeeping. No, that is a fallacy. Most people think it's not actually true. The reason why is because when you're doing and you're selling accounting and bookkeeping, it's a service that everyone understands they need to some level. And it's more about just talking to someone who's making like 7 to 8 figures a year about having them give you money. When you're doing more coaching, you're dealing with a lot more of like people who are a little bit more fearful in a lot of cases, especially if you're doing more of like people who are just getting started, right? So, right, because then you have that question like, why do you even need my money? If you have $1 million, why do you need my money? Versus when you talk to someone who is like making 8 figures, they're like, oh, all you need is 8,000 a month. Here you go, take it. That's a steal. So it's one of those things where I do actually like it. I do actually enjoy working with people. I do enjoy coaching. I enjoy doing marketing stuff like this. I enjoy learning, right? Part of the reason why coaching is so fun for me is because I actually get to read books. I get paid to read books, right? Because in addition to buying courses, in addition to doing that, like my job is really just to learn at an increasingly faster pace, so I can kind of give back to the students. But okay, cool. Are you doing this? Are you doing this? Have you checked this? Are you moving here? Okay, why are you not doing this? This is what it's supposed to be. Okay, cool. This is boom. This is what all the other students are doing. And it's just like I just have to learn all day and to be really, really strategic about how I take in information and what I kind of regurgitate and how I do it and like keep my mental state kind of in place. Um, So it is a lot harder than running my accounting and bookkeeping firm. To be completely honest, like if I was just in it for the money, getting to about um, 100K to 200, 300K is easier than it is to get like to do that in the coaching business. For the coaching business, it is easier to go from like 6 figures to like 7 figures. It's way harder than accounting to go from 0 to 6. So for the average person, starting an accounting and bookkeeping business is the best thing. I have so many students that, they get to about 10, $12,000 in their accounting and bookkeeping business, and they just keep moving. They keep pressing. Like I have one student right now. He came in at like about $15,000 a month in sales. He's at $42,000 a month in sales. We've only been talking for about 45, probably not even that. He got started like on December 30th or something. And then now it's February 7th. So whatever the amount of time it is in there, right? That's just to say, like, it is easier to kind of grow an accounting or bookkeeping business. For long-term kind of like just growth and just brand, I do want to be kind of like a famous internet person. So that's just a little bit about me and just kind of why am I doing this? Like, why do I want your money even though I have money? It's because I like helping, I like making money. I want to make as much money as I possibly can. I want to grow as far as I possibly can. I want to have as wide of an audience as I possibly can. When in 20 to 34 years from now, when I open up my investment firm, I want to have a group of people who I've helped get to, anywhere between 100,000 a year to I want maybe my top student get to like 10 million per year. That'll probably be a ways off. But if I can get a student to $10 million per year, I'm never gonna have a problem with like getting money or asking for money. Because it's funny, whenever you go and help somebody make a lot of money, it's so much easier to get them to give you more money. So that's the selfish reason why I help people out, because I'm essentially getting like people to consistently give me money for the rest of my life, all because I help them go and start their business and reach their goal. And that's why, like, inside of my mentorship program, I'm so selective with like who I take on. Like, some people think like I just take on everybody. And it's like, no, if I don't think that, it's a good fit, or you'd be a good person to utilize some of my methodologies because our personalities don't align, or just from my experience, like who's really good or who's bad, like I turn you away super quickly. Because like, we got to make sure that we're bringing in people that are going to be able to do the work, who um, resonate with me, resonate with my brand, resonate with my ideologies, so that you guys can actually make money in the fastest way possible. Because the more money you make, the more money I'm going to make, because then you'll stay inside the mentorship program for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, right? And we'll just keep working together, keep growing together. And then pretty soon your original goal might have been like 10 grand a month, maybe it was 5 grand a month. But all of a sudden you look back after 2 years and you're sitting at 30 grand every single month for the rest of your career and your business. And you still have time to be able to spend with your children. You still have time to be able to actually be there. Not only are you working from home, but you can actually be present in your home while you're there. And the only thing that you're really doing is just overviewing your subcontractors, or if you have like a team and you're outsourcing it, basically like what I do, then you'll be able to actually be at home. Like for me, like the amount of like just relaxation that I've been able to get from being able to work at home, right, with my accounting business first, and then also now I have the mentorship and the coaching. Like, dude, that's just been ridiculous how like relaxed it does get intense, right? Because there's a lot of work that we are doing. I'm not saying there's no work, but it's different when you're working for yourself and you're able to kind of like be like, I did this, right? I did not do it on my own. I did not do it on my own, but I did this, right? And it's okay that you didn't do it on your own. Like I brag to people that I spent, 35 grand the first year. I just spent $20,000, $20,000 probably about 5 days ago on a new mastermind program so I can improve the results that my students get inside my program. It's basically like a program that shows me how to restructure just my coaching and just everything I do, so I can make sure I can come to the coaching calls clearer. I can make sure the information I give you guys is better. I can make sure that I can kind of like dig into your current situations even better. Because a lot of my students get to $10,000 per month. I want to make sure the average result is more like $20,000 per month by the end of the program. Okay, so in order for me to do that, I invested a heavy amount into basically rebuilding my entire coaching process from scratch, and then all the different training modules that we have inside of it, so that we can like make it the best on the planet. Now, if I didn't care about you, or if I was just in it for the money, I probably would not have done that, right? Because just like, who cares? As long as they make money, it doesn't matter, right? But no, I care about you. I want you to succeed because ultimately I know that the more you succeed, the more I'm going to succeed. And that's why I keep investing in myself, keep investing in the program, keep building, keep growing, keep sharing all this information for free. Because I know that over time, hey man, all it takes is just me keep giving you stuff. You're gonna make some money. Hopefully you'll like me and you'll trust me. If not, that's okay too. I don't really care. But there's gonna be a lot of people that do, right? Because we're gonna get to probably about we're probably gonna get to about 50,000 people inside of my Facebook group over the next 2.5 years. Um, Instagram, I'm gonna get probably about 10,000 followers, right? We're gonna have a lot of people. I just want to make sure the people we bring in are gonna continue to be the best. They're gonna have the best results possible, gonna have the best client experience. They're gonna feel like they know everything that they need in order to actually go and get to like 30 grand a month if they so chose to, while still having time to kind of go and be with their family, relax. If they want to travel, or even if they're younger and they're single, like we have a number of people who are like 31, 32 years old, and they literally don't have to do much work. Audrey, last week, so I think she's closer to like 13 grand a month now. She was at 11.6. And then she signed on like two clients last week, right? Through our follow-up process. So she might be between 13 to like 15 now. It was ridiculous because like the only switch that we had to make for her, all I told her to do was, dude, just go get more people inside the program to subcontract out work. So it's just like basically it's like we have people inside the program and they're trying to grow their business. So Audrey was afraid that if she took on more work, it would mean that she would have to work a lot longer and she wouldn't have as much free time. I said, Audrey, take this work, throw it at people inside the program so they can grow their business and you can keep scaling without having to work more. And she's like, what? I can do that? I said, yeah. And then she just like unlocked herself and like she added on $7,000 a month in monthly recurring revenue in a month. Because like just because I was here to help her out. She used to make $30,000 a year in corporate America, and I think it was more like 32,000 a year in corporate America. And she was working huge long hours. They didn't respect her. They didn't trust her. They didn't value her input. They kind of overlooked her whenever it was time for like a raise, and it was just like they just didn't respect her. So now she was just like, okay, f that. I do what I want to do in my life. I'm growing. I'm in control of my life. I'm in control of my destiny. I'm in control of my income. Bryce, help me out. We helped her out in the first year that we had worked together. She collected about $65,000. Now this year, kind of what we were talking about earlier, like some of the students actually like to re-sign up. For her, it wasn't actually a full year. It was about the first 6 months she collected 60 grand. And then now she's coming back into the mastermind, the upgraded version of the program. And that's where she really got more of that, like just direct support and me directly speaking to her life so that she could actually go and grow. But this video's getting a little bit long and I'm have to go and do something real quick. But if you want some help going and growing your business, like you're tired of sitting on the sidelines, you're tired of being treated like a grunt, you're tired of people overlooking you, like you might be in business now or you might not be in business, but if you want some help growing your accounting, your bookkeeping business, and you want to make sure that you can be in control of your life, your income, your time, and your location, go ahead and click on the link either above or below the video to book a call with me to see if I can help you out. Now on that call, like we're going to literally look through your entire business and we're going to say like, where are you now? Like, what does the actual picture look like? What is the true picture? It might be a little bit painful, but we're going to uncover like what's really been holding you back. After that, excuse me, we're going to take a look at like, where do you want to go? Like what does it look like for you to be able to go and grow your business and really design your life, design your dream? What is your dream? From there, we're going to design a path for you to be able to go and grow your business. And if it makes sense, we can even work together long-term to accomplish the vision. Now, if it's not a great fit, at least you're going to have an accurate game plan of what you need to do. And there's no real obligation for you to work with me. Because again, if it's not a good fit, I personally don't want you inside because we want to make sure we're focused on the students that are going to get the best results. But at the very least, you're going to know exactly what you need to do. So if that's you, if you want some help, go ahead and book a call. If you're not ready, do it anyway, because that's the only way you get ahead in life. But if you're still not ready, even after that, and you just want to build a little more trust, you want to see some more information, you want to kind of learn more, go ahead and explore other videos inside of my channel. We hold nothing back. We even leak coaching calls from past students and current students, so you know exactly, what it looks like to work with me, what it looks like to actually grow and reach your goal. We even have behind the scenes recaps of students, and we have both current students and past students that we're kind of releasing slowly over time. So you can actually go and look at them and just see, what does this look like to reach your goal? And at the very least, even if you don't work with us ever, you're going to have some value, and hopefully you'll refer some friends to us. So hopefully you have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you inside the next video.